too high. I'm ready for a fight, never flight, but I wanna have fun all night. I could've took this girl if I wanted, but I ain't into throwing dirty laundry in the public. I can always make something out of nothing, cause I know how it was when it wasn't. Falling ships and murder that she wrote. Combination, always drink and smoke. Apathy could help the way I roll, cause I'm selective on how much I show. Time will tell, don't show me what I know. Know you have to only go for broke. You look good but act just like a hoe. You look good but I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me substance, bring it on mine. I really want nothing but a good time. I really can't stress this enough. I always gotta keep it at a buck. I rather have money than lust, but I'ma look twice if she got a big butt. I have a hard time with trust. Hard time love is a new fine drug. It's okay, I'ma fill my cup. It's okay, I'ma still turn up. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. I love the dancing, I love the night. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. I love the dancing. I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me substance, bring it on mine. I really want nothing but a good time. Why don't you just pull up, girl, to berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. I love the dancing, I love the night. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to berry wine. I love the dancing, I love the night. I've been searching, I've been searching, I quit searching, quit searching.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Butterfly Blackout. I'm your host, Emily, along with Truth and Jeff.
Hello.
How's everybody?
Good.
Good. So Wendy Williams was a guest on Dr. Oz's show. And Dr. Oz asked her if she was going to take the vaccine. Pay attention. Dr. Oz asked her if she was going to take the vaccine. She said no. She doesn't trust it. That's her opinion. Some people are mad because Wendy is an influencer. So if Wendy Williams says that she's not going to take the vaccine, then that means a lot of people aren't going to take it because of Wendy. But then again, you have a lot of celebrities that have taken a vaccine and are encouraging people to take the vaccine. And because they took the vaccine, many people are going to take the vaccine. But why can't Wendy just have an opinion? Wendy was speaking on behalf of herself. He asked her a question about the vaccine. She says she doesn't trust it, so she's not taking it. Dr. Oz even said, you influence a lot of people. So, that's her opinion. Now, if you're dumb enough to follow behind her, that's on you. That's personal. But she knows for herself and her body, she doesn't want the vaccine. So why can't Wendy Williams have her own opinion? Why can't she do what she wants for herself? Now, if you want to follow in her footsteps, listen, go see a therapist for that. But if you're asking her a question, it is not her responsibility to say, yes, I'm going to take it because people are going to follow what she says. No, you asked her a question. Wendy's going to give it to you 100. She said no. So don't be a jackass. Stop following celebrities. Do your own research. Just because Janet Jackson, just because Tyler Perry, just because Beyonce say something doesn't mean that you have to do it too. Everybody's bodies are different. And guess what? Celebrities have a lot of money. So you don't know what the heck they got their hands on. if I'm not mistaken, I do believe there was a phone call with a whole bunch of celebrities discussing the vaccine options. Pay attention. So if you see Kim Kardashian talking about she's taking a vaccine, don't be stupid, because guarantee whatever she took, you ain't taking. Now, let's move on to the White House. So, CNN contributor April Ryan was at the White House during their press briefing with Press Secretary Jen Psaki. She asked about reparations and if President Biden believes that Black or ADOS African descendants of slaves should receive reparations. Jen Psaki said that President Biden believes in putting together a putting together a committee to study reparations. Now, Jeff, I'm going to ask you a question.
Mhm.
Did she answer the question?
No.
Now, I know she didn't answer the question. Jeff knows she didn't answer the question. So I'm looking at April Ryan, who happens to be Black. You know she didn't answer the question. So is it because it's a Democrat in office? Is it because this is the Biden administration and that's why you didn't say to her, well, that's great and all, but you didn't answer my question? I don't care if he wants to put together a committee. The question is, does he believe in reparations for ADOS? It's a yes or no answer. He could say yes and he could say no and still put a committee together. But does he believe that African descendants of slaves deserve reparations in any form? You didn't answer the question. So I'm going to go on a limb and say that the answer is no. That's why he put a committee together so that way he could stall it. Now, when he leaves office and Kamala's up there taking his place, you can ask her if she believes in reparations for African descendants of slaves. Now, given her father's Jamaican and her mother is Indian, she's most likely not going to answer the question either. And then she's probably going to say no because she can't associate herself with African descendants of slaves because she knows her great-great-great-great-grandma. I don't know mine. Because somewhere down the line, my people were sold. Jeff is in the same boat. But, hey, it is what it is. Why did I bring that up? I brought that up because if you're going to be a reporter and you're going to sit in the White House press briefing room and you're asking questions of the press secretary, then stay on her neck, okay, and make her answer the question and call her out when she doesn't answer the question. Don't just sit there and take that BS that she gives you because that's not answering the question. She could sit there and because you know she's no longer saying circle back because they done got on her for that. But now she replaced circle back with and yes and well and I mean, lady, if you're securing your answers, then there should be less ums. Pay attention. Person who's feeding you nothing but garbage has a lot of ums when they speak. I'm just saying. But now, $90 million. I take joy in this one. That's a lot of money, right? 90 million?
Yeah, fair enough. Good amount. Yeah.
90 million in donations?
That's a lot.
Okay. So, Black Lives Matter organization. I want to clarify for you all. The movement and the organization, two separate things. Okay? The movement is one, the organization is another. We are specifically talking about the organization. The Black Lives Matter organization, co-founded by 3 women of color, okay, raised $90 million. Now, they claim to receive that money and donate some of the money. Why are we bringing this up? Because Michael Brown's father and the Ferguson organizers are requesting $20 million from Black Lives Matter. Now, you're asking, why? Well, they're requesting the money because the organization, if you go to their website, was basically founded off of the deaths of Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin, slain Black boys. Pay attention to what I'm saying and follow me. An organization founded by 3 Black women, if you go to the website, who happen to identify as bisexual LGBTQ supporters. I'm not really sure what Black Lives Matter has to do with your sexual preference, but they wanted to put that in there so you would know. Pay attention. So, many people are starting to think that the Black Lives Matter organization is really a front for the LGBTQIA movement. Okay? I know we've been saying LGBTQ plus minus divide, but they added the I and A from the alphabet. So it's LGBTQIA. I want to apologize to the organization because I think I knew that and I accidentally omitted the I and A. And I always want to include the letters of the alphabet when discussing LGBTQIA, you know? And then we can say plus minus and divide.
Wow. LMNOP. God
Wow.
damn. Yo, I can't. Okay.
I just don't like you sometimes.
Am I wrong?
I don't
Am
know.
I wrong?
Okay, like I said, the Black Lives Matter organization started their movement off of Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin's murders, not trans women's murders. That's important to note because the movement was started by 3 black women who identify themselves as bisexual or part of the LGBTQ, but it started based off of the deaths of our young black youth, our black men, and not trans women that have been murdered.
Okay.
That's interesting because we've got all this rallying for trans women, and trans women are men, born men that are now identifying themselves as women. Pay attention. Black Lives Matter through Act Blue is actually a Democratic Party political fundraising machine. Now, if you pay attention when you make your donations, you will know it'll ask you for a donation on the site and it'll take you to a portal to Act Blue. You have to research what Act Blue is. And Act Blue is part of the Democratic Party machine. Many of the donations have been funneled through the Democratic Party. That has nothing to do with Black lives. I mean, unless if I'm wrong, let me know. But if we're talking about Black lives, then we don't need to be giving money to any political machine. If our sole focus is Black lives, then it should be all about Black lives. That's why we started this, right? Okay. The $90 million raised was funded in the aftermath of the deaths of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and others. Basically, everything got heightened because we got to see a lot of this stuff unfold on TV, through social media. So more people just started blindly donating. And I say blindly because you're not paying attention to where your funds are going. And I always say that you have to do your research before you donate. Don't be so quick to say I'm giving money to an organization and you know nothing about it. Because if you actually did your research, you would ask yourself, okay, well, it's an organization, you know, in support of Black lives, but the 3 co-founders made it possible for me to know or stress for me to know that they're bisexual, LGBTQ. What does one have to do with the other? Exactly. Keep that in mind. So Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors claims she is reinvesting the money to build out the institution they've been trying to build for the last 7.5 years. So what does that mean? I would think if you raise $90 million, shoot, you have different chapters of the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's collectively get those chapters together on a phone call. We raised $90 million. Let's get our heads together. What can we do with this money to help our communities? Right? Because this is not our money. Question, do y'all take a cut? Do y'all get paid for this? Oh, am I being intrusive? Okay. Now, let's talk about the dispersal of funds. Black Lives Matter announced a survival fund for Black people to apply for 3,000 micro grants of $1,000 each, no strings attached. 300 people have been approved so far. Huh? 3,000 micro grants of $1,000 each, no strings attached. Survival fund? Really? Okay. And how much did they give away to the Democrats? Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, ActBlue takes a percentage too. So when you make the donation, ActBlue comes for their money first before they get it. So they did raise 90, but they didn't get 90 because you got to pay ActBlue. Just letting y'all know where the money's going. Okay. Now, Brown Sr. is requesting $20 million as a good faith gesture since they used his son's death as the catalyst for change. If you go to their website, the organization's website, yes, they use his name and Trayvon Martin while telling you that they're bisexual and they support the LGBTQ movement, which, again, neither have anything to do with the death of black men. Or does it? He hopes to use the money once received for the Chosen for Change Foundation, the Mike Brown Community Center, organizing grants for Ferguson protests and activities, various programs and services in the black community. Well, shocker, isn't that what the money should be used for? I would think you would take the money and split it amongst many different organizations or many different chapters to do the same thing, right? That's not so difficult. Or maybe it is. But by the way, I mean, Mike Brown Sr. did get some money, about $500. A moment of truth.
This young lady gonna get assassinated.
Oh shit!
Who wants to go first?
No, you. I'm loving you today. I just want you to know that.
This is well thought out. Like, so many questions.
Yes.
So, I think he got more than $500.
No,
I mean, I don't know
he
if
got
any from them.
500
No,
from Black Lives Matter.
Oh, from them.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Why would
Organization.
They get $500 from them? But that was before they blew up. Because his was early. Mike Brown.
But you used his dead son's name as the catalyst to discuss this is what our movement is for. We haven't really done anything because more more black men have been killed. And recently, because we've been seeing more, and we watched George Floyd on live TV, now more money has been donated. But remember, we were also in the middle of election season. And the Democrats wanted those votes.
Well, no. I'm with you. I agree to that. So here's where it looks crazy. He makes a point. Is it the right guy? No, because they were talking crap about him when the son died. The mother's not in on it. I don't see anybody else who they capitalize off of family members joining it. So I don't know if it goes anywhere, but it raised questions. Exactly. To me, the whole capitalizing off of this and why they include the LGBTQIA, it's for when the next I don't want to say riot, when the next protest starts. So when finally all the trans colored people get together and they march down with the white trans people too,
Okay.
and they can now go ahead and donate to BLM. You remember the link? It's the
Wow.
same one we sent there.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. I see. I'm so happy you're here
I'm just saying.
because that segues into our next discussion: migrants and the emasculation of our black men. So this is the new this is the new world order, we'll call it, because things are changing, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
So we start off with abortion, which is another form of birth control, which is what they want you to believe. Here's the thing. A lot of people say, well, what if the woman is raped? Can we stop? Can we stop? Because a great percentage of women getting abortions weren't raped. They had unprotected sex, they got pregnant, and they needed to get rid of the baby. Some women are married. They don't want their husband to know because that ain't his. Other women are in relationships. They don't want that boyfriend to know. And some, they just don't have the money to have these kids, but they're having sex unprotected, knowing that they can get pregnant, because a lot of people say, I don't want to wear a condom. It irritates me. I don't want to wear a condom because I don't feel anything. Then there's the pill, and under Obamacare, the pill was free. If you're on birth control pill, chances are you're not paying anything. And if you go to Planned Parenthood, condoms are free. Wink, wink. In fact, you get a whole boatload. Wink, wink. You can go to the hospital and ask for a condom, and guess what? Wink, wink. They'll give it to you. Look at all the free things you get when you want to have sex. But abortions aren't free. But at a low cost, you can find an abortion clinic, aka Planned Parenthood, in your neighborhood if you're black. Now, I had a lot of time to figure this out. And it's because I watched Fred Hampton's story. And then I watched The United States versus Billie Holiday. And it clicked. It clicked. So follow me. I want you to follow me through the minds of those that work for the FBI. Well, we have tried hanging him. And that damn Billie Holiday wouldn't stop singing Strange Fruit. These Negroes want a seat at our table. So we decided to let them in, but at a cost. We used them to get other black folks that once we were done with them, we demoted them to a desk job or even gave them keys to a gas station. Well, how do we kill niggers? Yes, I said the N-word, because this is the mind of the FBI. We can all sit here and play like we're all getting along and the Democrats want to unite us all, but to the FBI, I'm not black. I'm a nigger. And to the white people that still sit in Congress and they're like 80 years old, the three of us in this room are still niggers. Okay? Let's keep it a buck. How do we kill niggers? We don't. Maybe we can use this gay thing in our favor. Well, how so? We can't stop niggers from having sex. So let's stop them from creating life altogether. Keep talking. This sounds interesting. Let's emasculate the man. Some of the blacks are gay anyway. Let's begin to make it the new normal. The more men we turn into women, the less Negro man there will be to create more Negro babies. So what do we do when we lower the Negro population? Migrants. Kids come in unaccompanied all the time. Open the borders. We get them to come into the country, then that's more Democratic votes for us. Make sense? Think about it. This plan will work. By the year 2030, the blacks will be the minority again. A moment of truth.
You want to go?
Grab him.
All right. There's an old saying about what happened in the 70s and the 80s about when it became normal to get the black man out of the house. Hence, all you single mothers that are there. Not much. The gay theory is wrong, and let me explain. Only just simply because everything being an animal, you only need one man with good sperm. That's why there are more women in the world. I can get you pregnant. I can get your neighbor pregnant. I can get you pregnant and spread the seed. You understand? Because we have one child there. So as long as you have one good old Negro, you know what I'm saying? The race will live on. Male Negro, that is.
So you don't think they're trying to emasculate our men?
They already did that when they got the father figure out the house.
Facts.
How many friends of yours are single fathers or single mothers?
Facts.
And I'm a news flash it. Even in the white race community, you get what I'm saying? It wasn't just a one and done. They need to keep that to keep the pores down. Having a full when you have a family unit, and I'm just gonna say 4 or 3, a mother, father, and two children or a child, you have higher statistics of better earnings, higher statistics of better emotional support. This support, all these things increase dramatically compared to when you just grow up with a mother or you just grow up with a father. Because there's single fathers out there too.
Okay, but we're talking about turning our black men into women.
They can turn them into women because here's the worst part about a woman. You wanted a baby in your life? That's your son.
Here's the worst part about a woman.
That's the worst part. This is the worst part as a single man. As a single man just looking for buns. That's the worst part. If we were just cool to have sex and we could take away all the abortion clinics and I knew you were going to do in good faith, you know, or if you get pregnant, it was understood, or you weren't going to get pregnant. The fact is, the real lust of most women, when it comes to me, is having that child. It's not getting off. A man wants to get off, but it's having that child. So let's flip it, right? Now you turn me into Tina. Jeff goes to Tina. I want to be a woman. What is we incorporate a woman? I want a baby. So I'm gonna have a baby. Obviously, my balls didn't, shrivel up and turn into
No,
ovaries.
they're taking no.
But I'm gonna look. But here's the bad part. I'm gonna look to reproduce, have a baby some way, adopt it, get a Chinese baby. I don't care, whatever it is. I'm gonna have a baby, me as a female. Now me being a transgender or whatever it is, me switching. So it defeats their purpose.
How? Because I'm talking about you creating more black babies.
That's my point. It defeats their purpose. There are a lot of homosexual black men out there who want children, and they go have children. There are a lot of transgender people post-op or pre-op, I should say. Before they do it, if they have the money, they save their sperm, or they get little Betty. I got my friend Becky pregnant.
But here it doesn't make sense to save your sperm if you are transitioning over to a woman. You're now wanting to become a woman
because now I'm a mother. It's nothing about me.
You're
not
a
wanting to
mother,
have
but
a
you
kid.
cannot use your sperm.
It doesn't matter. As long as I'm a mother. Look, if I'm able to save my sperm, if the rich ones who have that option, and they change into like a female, they just have somebody else carry the baby. Now that's your blood. You are now the mother, not the father.
So you have all this time to think, okay, I'm in the wrong body. I need to have a sex change. I need to get my penis chopped off. Oh, but save my sperm so I can have a child.
If they have that money.
So throughout that whole process, you still had time to know if you want to have a child or not. You don't even know who you like to have sex with because you haven't had sex as a man or a woman yet.
Yes.
Now you have to figure out how to have sex without your penis because you have a vagina, so you got to get to know what that feeling is like.
Procreation comes on the same point of puberty. Not saying that you want the kids, but it comes with the process of it. In it, whatever you feel you are, like if you going through puberty and I feel like I should be a woman, or you feel like you should be a man, whatever the case is, it still comes with that because there's so many of that still want to procreate. And obviously, we know the laws of nature. Even if I chop it off or I add it to you, it's not going to work the way that it would naturally.
Okay, so if we're talking about gender and switching genders.
Yes.
So if we're switching genders now, we're trying to be genderless. Can we even call you a trans woman?
Genderless, or are we switching genders? Because those are two separate things. Because now I'm a woman. I'm Mrs. I'm Miss.
But we're getting rid of that. We're not going to go by genders anymore, right?
So then that's different. Then that's just me wanting to get rid of this, but not calling myself that. I know it's confusing. It confused the hell out of me.
Well, if it's confusing, then don't you think everybody that wants that done should have therapy sessions for like a good 20 years?
Isn't that part of the thing? But I think even before that, because if your child is saying this, and they're going through puberty, and they're saying, I should be a she, and when he's a he.
No, but they want to stop the children from
No,
going
I'm saying the therapy
puberty.
part. I'm saying the therapy part. They can't stop the person going to do therapy, then they'll be almost a sexless.
Puberty.
Yeah, you be a sexless person. You be
They want us to be sexless.
They want you asexual.
Not us, because I'm a woman. You're a man. They can't do that to us now.
You
but for the ones that are coming up,
genderless.
they want them genderless.
But
they're making genderless clothing, so everybody's the same. If you've never seen movies where people are living like The Handmaid's Tale, everybody's the same. Like
everybody's not the same in A Handmaid's Tale. I love
how they all
move,
show. How they all act.
No,
that
they're under control.
That control. That's what they want.
But that's male-female control.
That's male-female control.
Right.
But they're trying to do that here. They're trying to. How do you feel about becoming a father and knowing that you may not have control over whether your 5-year-old gets surgery or not, or can have hormone treatment to stop them from having puberty until they figure out if they want to stay a boy or a girl?
I don't think that'll ever happen.
What is wrong with you?
America don't care about kids. So that control of an adulthood, whether it be us as
America
our
doesn't
adults,
care about kids, but they care about the migrant children that are coming over, crossing over into the border.
the ones
got
they
them
keeping
the
in
camps
cages,
over there.
the one they keeping in the old slave cages.
Oh.
they refresh,
Oh,
remodeled.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
ones that y'all
yeah.
got mad at Trump for, but you built it under the
But they were
Obama
there
administration, but y'all saying, well, they're coming unaccompanied. Didn't Trump say that before, too, but y'all thought he was lying? And then y'all said, oh, he was separating the families. But if the kids are coming over unaccompanied and some of them with coyotes, how are you going to turn them back over to their families? Who are their parents? So you're waiting for sponsors to come to take these kids so you can give them education and give them this and give them that. Well, shoot. You can't even fix the problems that you got over here. Y'all are arguing over how much money to give people. What, you said $300 for unemployment? Really?
Yeah, that's what they did.
That don't even make any sense. But you worried about these. You're trying to be humane. No, the humane thing to do would be like, I'm sorry, this is a real word. You cannot come into the country. Y'all know this, but see, more and more are coming in. So is anybody asking the question of who sent out the notice to tell these people to come? Because they coming in.
The family.
But Trump was keeping them out. Now you got a whole bunch coming in. So who on Biden's side sent out that memo letting them know, come on in, it's okay? Who's taking care of these kids? Who's paying for these kids? Because if we can't get rid of our homeless situation or solve our homeless situation, we can't get people back to work. We can't feed our own citizens. We can't decide on more than $2,000 for the time being instead of paying people. Better yet, instead of unemployment, the ones that were already unemployment before COVID should stay on unemployment. Everybody who's unemployed because of COVID, you should have had an emergency plan where none of them filed for unemployment and the government just gave them biweekly payments, period. Because their unemployment had nothing to do with their work performance. This was something that had to do with the pandemic. You should have taken care of your American people, okay? We talk about we don't want nobody left behind. We don't want nobody starving. Well, then you should have done your jobs. In fact, Congress should have forfeited their checks. Because if your American people ain't got no money, then what the heck you get money for? Y'all ain't hurting. Y'all ain't starving. But you're just upset that things are working out and you was mad at Trump. For what? He's sitting here trying to protect people. Wasn't there a jogger in Jersey City killed by a Honduras man who was illegal? Yeah, illegal. Under the radar.
Are you talking about the one whose mother was killed also too? That same lady?
She was found in the park?
She was found in the park, and then the mother of the daughter got killed by somebody who she was putting up flowers on. Yeah. Good times.
Good times.
Good times.
And then you all got mad at Trump when Trump was talking about all these illegals coming in here committing crimes. Oh, now you're saying that you guys don't have any strong immigration laws.
Well, they don't. That's why they come in.
But here's the thing: you don't want strong immigration laws because if you can get the immigrants to say thank you to the Democrats, again, that's more votes. Why do you think they had all the ones that were undocumented get driver's license? How are you undocumented with a driver's license? Aren't you supposed to be documented first?
It's beyond. No, now I get you because I'm like, why? If they ain't got to pull up 6 points, how the fuck I got to pull up 6 points? But that's the thing. And I was like, when my passport that you guys said it was okay and good enough, but they bring a letter from their country, that's good enough. Either which way.
If you sell ties to your country, you can get a letter from your country. What the hell are you doing here?
Look, all I'm saying is, with that, it becomes it's a money thing. They are writing out money and they're directing it directly back into their pockets.
Okay.
For their best interests. That's exactly what's happening. You see, when they put this stuff out, we never paid attention to food and gas going up.
No, we did. I have. I didn't bring that up yet because, yeah, I noticed that the gas was going up. Thank you to everybody who voted for Biden because you were told gas was going to go up.
Taxes going up next year, too.
You were told that, too.
He said that one flat out.
I was supposed to go up for the rich, but being that he doesn't remember yesterday from today, we're not sure what's going to happen. So he said $2,000. Now it's $1,400, and it ain't going to everybody because a lot of people in Congress, who, by the way, continue to get paychecks, had so much to say about who should get the money. These are the people that you put into power. These are the people that you voted for, who have so much to say, and nobody was sitting here donating any of their paychecks to the American people to make sure that y'all was up and running.
I got a question. Do you think they should get food stamps?
Who?
Immigrants, anybody, you name it.
That's a different topic. I mean, American people should get food stamps. American citizens, if you qualify, yes. If you're an immigrant, no. I'm sorry, not if you're an immigrant. If you are an undocumented immigrant, then no. I don't think undocumented immigrants should get any money, should get nothing. I don't care what they contribute, because if we live here and we have to follow the rules and do everything the right way, I still don't understand. And somebody can come on this show and educate me as to why it is you were in this country for 25 years. You got married. You had kids. Had all the time in the world to go on vacation and get a job and be successful. But you ain't got time to be documented. What the heck did I miss?
Because we allow it. And we have no rules that go against it. I mean, well, no rules that are being enforced that go against it. That's the problem. In their country, you probably would have been shot, hung, thrown out, you name it.
I'm sorry, say that again?
You would have been shot, hung, thrown out,
I'm
whatever.
sorry, one more time.
Shot, hung, or thrown out.
So time out.
Go against it.
Time out. Because in this country, my ancestors were shot, hung, dismembered, sold. So, but we stayed. We didn't have a choice. We were slaves. So again, y'all coming into this country because you can't deal with your own bull in your own country. Meanwhile, we had to have uprising after uprising after uprising. I'm sitting here to tell all the illegals that want to come into this country, no shade, but try dealing with your own bullshit in your own country. Stop running over here thinking that we're supposed to help you. Hell no. Turn them away and go back home and uprise where y'all at. Organize where y'all at. Like we had a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We had a Malcolm X. We have the Nation of Islam. Y'all get something similar and do that in your country. Stop running over here thinking that we are going to solve your problems. We're not going to solve your problems. We have our own problems in this country. And until America solves American problems, they ain't got no business taking in migrants talking about, well, we're saving people. You rather save them than save us. You rather save illegals than figure out reparations for African Americans. You rather save migrant children instead of worrying about the children that are poor, hungry, starving, that live right here already. We have missing children. We have missing women. We have missing men. You still haven't found any of them. I mean, recently you found, I think, about either 70 or 170 missing kids, but I don't hear that on the news. But you're not focused on that? Oh, I guess you trust the FBI for that? The same FBI that's got the number one target, the black man and woman? Okay. So you're not looking for the missing, but you're worried about these unaccompanied minors. So every day during the press briefing, the press is asking the question of, when are you going to say this is a national crisis? Because it wasn't really so much of a crisis under Trump. But now somebody greenlit for all these people to come because they know that they can come, because they know they won't be turned away. They knew under Trump they were going to be turned away, but they're all coming now because they're not being turned away. You're putting them in these camps. So what's going on here? What's the tea? What are we missing? What is it that we're not asking? What is it you don't want us to know? Because this is real funny.
They knew they were coming. Remember at the end of his term when they was like, there's a big ass migration coming up from South America, from the central way down South America. They was coming up past Mexico.
Trump was trying to stop it, but
that was the end of
Biden
his term.
is here saying, "Oh, it's okay. Let them come." Again, you have all the issues in the world right here dealing with your citizens. When are we, as citizens, going to say, you know what? We're tired. We're tired, and we actually want you all to fight for us.
Well, we can't do it because we're emasculated. So, see, that's what you see. Now, here comes the softening of man and woman. women are softer, which they think is you're more docile and you're quiet. Not all, but mostly a few. You're submissive.
Okay.
So when you get your man changed, when I go to Tina, yes, sir, boss. I'm gonna do it this way. It's the softening.
All right.
Ooh, man.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I feel you.
All right. So you have Congress, who hasn't missed a paycheck, telling you all how much you can and can't have, passes all these bills for COVID relief, but a bulk of the money goes to overseas. Y'all seem to be okay with that. I bet. Cool.
It's not.
Now we have this $15 per hour mess. All right. Is $15 an hour for minimum wage too low? Let's break it down. That comes out to roughly $1,200 biweekly before taxes. After taxes, might be $700. So if you was already poor, living in poverty, how is this getting you out of poverty? A moment of truth.
Oh man, I missed a lot. So I'll say this just to catch up real quick. Magicians, and I'm gonna bring it home when I say all this. You have magicians, and I've always been a great follower of Dutch Schultz, who showed people that the most important individual in the world are black and poor folks. People pay for hope. They will give you their last dollar for hope. Like when you go to church and you pay your tithes instead of getting groceries for the house because God's going to give it to you when you already have it in your pocket. Just saying. As far as family in the black community, we were robbed of our original culture, religion. A lot of overseas, you have cultures where there are one man and multiple wives. That was the culture. A man ejaculates and there's 20 million sperms. Women release one egg at a time. Do the math. Do the math. As far as finances, people always worried about themselves before they're going to be worried about you. And for some reason, we keep thinking that these rich people over there are going to understand our strife or our problems, whether they've had it and not want to go back or never experienced it at all in history. The true definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, looking for a new, something new, right? Outcome, right? So we've had I did the research over here. We had about 21 Democratic presidents, and we're still in the same spot.
Oh, can you repeat that?
Struggling. Waiting for someone to give us scraps off the table. And when you do have individuals like my man from FUBU who don't remember wearing the Coogee, the baggy clothes, up in the club popping bottles and all this other stuff, we expect these individuals to save us. They owe us as a culture.
Right.
And as far as these wonderful individuals coming from other countries coming here, they owe America. And that's how it's looked upon. Black people ain't gonna owe America. We've been beaten, shot, stabbed, dragged, hung. Not too long ago, about 5, 7, 8 years ago, still in Texas, if I'm not mistaken, the state was, had a chain hung neck and dragged in by a truck. Mm-hmm. We're not going to give the same respect to America that Pedro and them would be coming from, no disrespect, but someone coming from another country.
Right.
So I can come to America and say my country can kiss my ass and be safe. I can't go to my country and say that. Just like you have a lot of the Islamic young ladies like to come over here and say all this other stuff and, oh, it's bad and this and that, but they won't do it from their own country.
Come on now.
Because you want to get shot, hung.
Well, here's the thing,
But
though.
we got
Like,
shot and hung ourselves.
just the same thing. Just the same thing. The husband.
But that's
Same thing will happen to the husband. See, you think it's cool. Yeah, he has 3 wives, but let that man cheat on any of his wives, and guess what's going to happen to him? He's going to get shot, stabbed, stoned. He's going to get the same freaking thing.
But well, you got to remember most of the. a lot of these countries, not all, and I single out any one, a lot of that stuff goes on, whether it be legal or illegal. That's the whole point when they come over here and say that. I don't care where you go. Go ask anybody who's coming from the Middle East. Yo, they be like, that's the woods. It's rough out there. It's crazy. People die and then they get up and go to church, and not grandma died of sickness. They got shot. The building blew up or whatever. People down in South America, the drug lords came through and raided the village. Bang bang, and that's what they always say. They escaping gangs and all this other stuff. That stuff is normal to them. That's a concept you have never had to go through, even though our people have been shot, hung, slaved, and all that stuff. So we're at a disadvantage when they come here.
No, you're right. They've
it
had
makes
soap,
sense.
running water.
Right.
I mean, we had soap, running water. They have it.
American homeless
Ain't no
are
it
middle
doesn't match up.
class. Some places.
I don't agree with you. Here's the thing. I may not have lived through it, but what I'm going by is what our ancestors went through. I'm going by what they had to overcome.
You can.
Yes, you can. Because if they were able to do it, that means that y'all are able to do it. Stop running over here thinking that the United States is supposed to help you in your issues. I can't help it if y'all got issues over in your country. Deal with it. Y'all are just scapegoats. Y'all just running thinking, oh, I need to escape. I need to escape. No, because everybody can't have the same damn issues. Everybody gonna sit there and use the drug lords and this as their issues.
Right.
I ain't got time for it today. All of us, we have issues too. We still got issues going on. Our black men are being killed on a daily basis, okay?
Yeah.
We got missing children, missing women, missing men that you still haven't found, but you got time to take a migrant talking about they feel like they're being threatened. Well, sir, I'm sorry I send you back. You know why? Because we got over 5 million of our own people missing, and we're not letting anybody in until we find our missing people. How about that? Put Americans first. America first.
Or do you mean to say put black Americans before migrants? Because that's a huge difference. Because once they become Americans, they're gonna take us. And in 4 years, they damn sure are gonna have the percentage over us. Now I believe that.
I would love to say black Americans first, but you have an administration who's all about immigration. So, because they're all about immigration, black Americans are not going to be first. All of you black people that thought that Biden was about black people, he used you for your damn vote. But see, y'all don't want to hear nothing. Y'all were so consumed with Trump is evil and Trump is this and Trump is that. You missed it, not realizing you're being used again. Because if he was serious about black people, then the first executive order would have been for blacks. What's taking so long? No, he worried about the LGBTQ and the rights of youth to use the bathroom, the rights of youth to change their sex, to play sports. We have the WNBA, we got the NBA. I guarantee you come next year, they're both not going to be the same. It's going to be probably just going to say the National NBA, but you're going to allow women to join the men. The basketball, the males are going to be looking like, what the heck is this? So now we got to have different rules and play with women. You're two different physicalities. You're not the same. That's why we have the WNBA. But that's not going to be anymore because that's what's important to the Biden administration. So what about the black people? If you're not watching Judas and the Messiah, if you're not watching the United States versus Billie Holiday, you might want to watch it and pay attention and wake up, because the war is not against drugs. The war is not against immigrants. The war has always been against us black folks, and it is today. The war is still against us. You want to trust your FBI? I don't trust not damn one person. I don't trust the FBI. I don't trust the narcotics. I don't trust the CIA, even though they're supposed to be international. F that. I don't trust not damn one person in law enforcement. Now I'm looking at all you sideways, because you got to think against us black people. When us black people get a voice and we rise, just look at all of your so-called organizers and leaders. You ever ask questions about how they got to where they are and who helps fund what they do? Y'all might want to start looking into that, because they claim to be, about black lives. But then at the same time, when you see a little girl losing her life to gun violence, don't nobody say nothing. Is that newsworthy? In Atlanta, a little girl was killed because of a barricade. Nobody said anything. You had the mother in shock. You put her on TV, not being sensitive to the fact that she just lost her child. And that was not the time for her to be on TV. You have people out here carelessly losing their lives, but we're only concerned about the transgender women because their lives are at great risk. I can't tell you what you do in the privacy of your own home or what you do in the privacy of a car with a guy. Okay? That's your business. All right? But the percentage is quite low when it comes to the deaths of black men and black women, especially our unarmed men and women. But then again, let me bring it on back to the ones that are missing that we still haven't found. In Atlanta, they got a whole bunch of missing in Georgia. Where are they? Who's researching? Who's looking for them? Guarantee you it ain't the FBI, because the FBI don't give a crap. It's another black person. The FBI probably the ones that done took them. You don't think they ain't take them?
Trying to get disappeared.
Oh man.
So back to my question: $15 per hour.
Yeah, we went somewhere else with that one.
So is that too low? Like, what's going on here? Are you
Yes.
getting out of poverty with that one?
No.
I'm sorry. Truth, you was sitting here trying to explain
you
something.
went way.
Dang, you
I
started
told
with
you I was
magicians.
going
What
to bring it
happened?
home, but here's the thing. Here's what you have to understand. You can survive for $5 an hour if you are if everything is affordable. If we're looking at that.
What you mean
So
if
the
everything's
one- no.
affordable? You guys got another building on top of the
And
building
what I'm
that
saying
they
is,
built.
here's the thing.
No,
You can have all the buildings you
Saying
want.
theoretically.
Oh.
You can have all the buildings you want. But if I only make $5 an hour, then you know you can only charge me 25 cents a month. So what I'm saying is you can make any amount of money in the world, which wouldn't matter if you still like in Silicon Valley. You get paid $20 an hour to work at McDonald's, but your studios are $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you can make any amount of money in the world, but you have to be able to live off of it. And unfortunately, that's the issue and the problem. It's not the amount of money per hour. It's that we allow this capitalism in here that allow people to charge you $6,000 for a bathroom in Manhattan. Did you see the photo on Facebook where a dude dropped the ladder down and said this is a 2-bedroom? He just literally dropped the ladder. It was like 2 bunk beds, and he was like, it's a 2-bedroom. When we continue to allow that, see, it's not the $15 an hour. It's everything around. So if you were making, again, $5 an hour, but your rent was only 60 cents, 70 cents a month, would still allow you to feed yourself and clothe yourself, you'll be good. But these trillionaires have to continue to be, it's a competition.
Okay.
It's a competition. This is why they want you to put your money in the bank. Now, I'm going to give you 0.0001%, but Jacob over there, I'll hit him with 8% interest. How the freak is that fair when you're loaning someone else's money to someone else and then giving them scraps off the table? Stop putting your money in the bank.
So where are you supposed to put your money?
Invest it. There are IRAs. There are other things you can put your money in. Will you get full value for your money? Stop giving your money to strangers to invest. Or like the question you asked about these organizations. To me, the biggest wool they ever pulled over, magicians now, were nonprofit organizations. When the CEO's making six figures.
BLM is a nonprofit.
Yep, exactly. Hold on. So you're a nonprofit, but your CEO's making 6 figures.
I never donate to nonprofits with CEOs.
If you want to donate, do what Wyclef
What
did.
nonprofit doesn't have one?
Every
So
last
therefore,
one
I
has
don't donate to
Every-
nonprofits.
No matter what.
No,
what they
everyone
are,
has,
everyone
and this is
one.
why I
They
tell
just-
people
let
all
me
the
change
time.
the name. Let me change the name.
When the last time you've
They
been
have
to
it.
your local store? Oh, would you like to donate to this fund, to that fund?
Nope.
And over again, not even, in especially the Red Cross, showed you with Katrina. When they purposely held back money that was given for the relief and bought themselves new Mercedes-Benz trucks.
Remember, nonprofit, they just have to spend that money. So
Right.
so we gave you. Let's go back real quick. You gave them 90 million or whatever they got. Let's say they got 70 after they paid the blue whatever to
Act
build it in
Blue.
front. Yeah. The 70 million got to play to zero in a year before they pull anything.
I'm
so
not-
that means I got to take that in my thing and invest it as Jeff, and the other three got to do the same until we hire people and pay them.
Mama Suzanne says, keep mine under the mattress. I'm the only one I trust.
Now, she ain't the only one to feel that way. My grandma used to do that.
Well, I mean, really,
Had to
if
move
we
a lot of money out the house
if
when
we
she
really
died.
think about it, why are these banks as rich as they are? Why do they control things? They don't want you when you pay credit cards. They want you to keep hitting you with this interest.
Well, then let me ask you a question, because there's a lot of push for black people to use black banks. Are you saying
Stop-
that even
stop
if it's a
going
black
all
bank,
black.
they
That's
should?
a long time ago.
That's your problem, right? Here's what I tell black
Doesn't
people.
matter.
Problem is all black. I got pulled over, and I lie to you not. I thank God the man was white. This shit literally happened last Saturday. I said, please let the man be white. I'm dead serious.
Okay.
Most stuff, me personally, I ain't saying that, me personally, the times I ran into black cops, I'm about to fight. I ran into white cops, dudes buying me breakfast. You know what I mean?
What white
We-
cop
we
you
talking
going by
about-
that buying
we
you
talking
breakfast?
about
Hold up.
baseball.
I ain't gonna lie, because there's some white cops that be looking fine as hell in them uniforms. I am weak.
Okay,
You just
talking-
gave a whole
yeah,
black on black speech.
Yeah,
Let's talk about.
but-
Give me Mr. Whitey McWhite, please. I need him to save me.
The
Look
main
at
thing
you.
is what I say to
Look
this.
at you.
I'm a woman.
And this is
fuck
stop
outta
saying all this. The main thing is you should surround yourself with people who think the same way you think.
Okay.
Period. It don't matter what they are, how they going. You talk about the Fred Hampton thing, and that's how he was able to start that Rainbow Coalition. You just as poor as me, homie. Your skin is just different.
Right.
All our kids are getting horrible educations and all this other stuff. So think about it from that standpoint. Pro this, pro black. Okay, so LeBron's a damn near billionaire. Gives back to schools and stuff like that. But you're supposed to get a specific cut? We're always trying to include ourselves in someone else's finances instead of going out there and getting it ourselves. You want to be an entrepreneur? Okay, go start your LLC. $250, maybe a couple more, depending on what you want to do. Save your money up. Businesses like Amazon, eBay, you can sell anything. Tax write-offs. Writings on the wall. We just won't go into the freaking library and get all the education and information that we need. We'll rather hang on the corner.
Simple as that.
The same thing everyone else has, we can get also. Do it the right way.
Right.
Like I said, Jeff will tell you that. That's the financial man. That's the plug right there. Invest your money. IRAs or what the other guy was saying about put a certain amount of money in a bank and in about 20, 30 years or whatever, you'll have a couple $100,000 to $1 million. Believe in yourself. Invest in yourself. Not in Wells Fargo, TD Bank, all these other trillionaires.
Pay attention to financial trends. Everybody on this Bitcoin train. How many black people missed out on that?
Facts.
7 years ago. And remember I told you about the one black guy?
Yep.
He said a black person put $1 in. That was 2013. He only had like 700 views. Said put $1 in.
$1. Guess how much money you would have had? Millions.
How much?
Each
Millions.
$1 was worth $57,000 2 months ago. About a month and a half ago. $57,000. And then you just left it.
$1.
Just left it. Like, oh, it's $1.
$1.
How many times you buy snacks for your son that you just
Exactly.
That shit? You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's just certain things.
We
that
need to
miss.
wake up and stop. I forgot the gentlemen's names, and I apologize for forgetting about them. Your money should be working for you. You should be working for your money. And that's exactly the point they were saying. Your money should be working for you.
I will say this, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
This is why I don't care where the immigrant is from, will take advantage of us.
Facts.
Forget about the amount of numbers that they are being let in. They're coming in as adults. if they learned this stuff already, which a lot of us have not learned. A lot of us didn't know about Bitcoin 7 years ago. They've been using that shit in Europe for the longest.
Not
Europe,
even just that.
China,
just,
all that. I'm just saying. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So now you come over here, you already got a mountain of cash that is not taxed by the U.S. thing. You
Facts.
know about, and you able to use it and freely pull it out through your phone or computer. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you the secret millionaire of Newark. And you buy these buildings and you buy these things. You understand? So now it's like, how'd you get Little Chinatown in 2 years? Well, shit. Let me show you. But imagine if we did it. So imagine if you sat there and or the school they go through and they teach you these things. Simple finance stuff is not taught.
Take it a little
Simple
further,
things is
Joe.
not taught. The $15 thing that I really wanted to get onto. My question is, why can't we do it? A federal mandate for it. The federal mandate, a minimum wage is like 7 something. That's ridiculous.
Well, then maybe we need to say, you know what, Congress, if y'all can't get it together, then maybe Congress should only be making how much?
Well, see,
It
that's
don't
the
matter
thing.
about that.
$7.50 an hour.
It don't matter, even if you pay them zero. Everybody who got to that position, and I'll take out AOC and the other 4, I forget the 4 group. Actually, I'll take out 3 because one of them was already 6 figures wealthy. They were never broke.
Ever.
When they ran for the thing, they were never broke. Even the black ones, all of them, they were the top. I'm just saying leaders.
That's
of
why
the
I
thing.
kept
They
saying that. I'm
weren't
starting to think
regular
we need to put poor
folks.
people in office.
Well, here's the thing.
Really
It's
rich
not
people.
about.
Even if they're poor, they just gotta have the mindset. to
It's
take
the
care
mentality.
and the knowledge.
It's the
to do it.
mentality. It's not about being
Okay.
a millionaire. It's about maintaining the
That's
process
the
of
thing.
being a millionaire. And here's another thing what a lot of people don't understand. And you may not have you've seen it, but you haven't paid attention to it. Have you noticed in your hood every once in a while you'll see a sign that goes up and say under new management? You know that, right?
Yeah.
You've seen it, right? You know why, right? Because what they do is they sell the business to a relative. You know why? Because they know how to take advantage of opening up a new business, getting 5 years, with tax breaks and all the other stuff, where you don't have to pay taxes. And then when your 5 years is up, guess what you're going to do? You're going to sell it to your friend. And that money stays in that community.
So my question
Shoot.
is, this may be a dumb question,
That's all right.
but if you sell it to your friend, do they take advantage of the next 5 years? or-
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Whenever you
So-
gas stations, these oil change places or whatever, they keep selling it to the next person.
Now, after those 5 years, can they sell it back to you?
No,
Yeah, I don't think it can go back.
you can't sell that particular one. So if I was, let's say, if I was a car wash owner, now I can be a owner of a oil change. It's a different business.
So you ever notice some change slightly?
Yeah.
So, slightly, like we used to be ribs, but now we do chicken. Am I
serious.
wrong? No, am I wrong?
If you know
And
how
the
to take
same
advantage
dude,
of the
like, yo, Mike,
system,
what's up? Like, yeah.
if you know how to take advantage of the system,
Okay, yes.
You say things like that, or
Okay.
you sold it to your friend. Now your friend sells it to your son when he's old enough.
facts.
You come right back.
You
in.
saw her face?
Where you been?
You
I've
saw
been
her
right
face?
here, baby. I ain't going nowhere. Here you go.
You saw her face, but that's how. But this is what I'm saying. Just like we talked about last week in the Jewish community, you know they only buy from themselves, but they purposely overcharge each other, and everyone's cool with it to keep that money in the Jewish community.
We can't be like them. We can't get along. I mean,
No,
if
we can
have-
get along
We can get along.
if you
we-
continue to surround yourself with like-minded people.
That's the key. See, they try to I forget the word, but just make us all one type. All black ain't the
Monetize?
same.
That's what it is?
No, not monetize, but
Put us
all
all in
black
one
ain't
box?
the same.
Right, you ain't lying.
You don't think the same as the drug dealers 3 blocks down the way, and not saying they dumb or stupid or whatever. They don't think the same the way
Right.
you do.
And they make the best businessmen. They know how
But
to hustle.
imagine, but think about
Yeah.
if we could just get together, find a bunch of you, find a bunch of them, and find something to work together. They have to burn more because y'all
Unstoppable.
will take over.
Unstoppable.
It's just small things like that.
But if you keep saying all blacks, they're going to continue to win.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's good at the same thing.
And not all of us like watermelon either.
You ain't lying.
I just want to throw that out.
Well, that's true. Well, this would be the perfect time for you to take a break and go to the bathroom, get your popcorn, get your drinks, because Goddess is up at 7, correct?
Yes, mate.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.